Hey guys, how you doing? This is Benjamin with Benjamin Exotics, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at a quick, easy, budget, but effective, inexpensive, just all around amazing ball python tub setup. Now this is more for the beginners that don't want to go with a tank and are looking for the best way, best bang for their buck. They're kind of on a budget and they don't want to go out and spend a huge amount of money just to keep one or two snakes. So if you're that kind of person, this video is perfect for you. Or if you're even keeping 10 snakes, these are just a few quick tips and, kind of care guide sort of video that I personally use that saved me a lot of money over the years and hopefully will help you guys out as well. So without further ado, we'll get straight into the video. So first thing, of course, I already talked about tanks versus tubs. If we're looking at it with a ball python, go with a tub. It's going to be easier to care for in most cases. Keep the humidity in a lot better. Same thing with heat. Tanks can work, and if you really want one, you can go out and get one used to save yourself some money. It's going to be the same exact thing. It's not like an electronic. I don't really like getting used electronics, but if you really need to, you can. But, with the tubs, overall, it's going to be much cheaper than going with a tank. And personally, for the newer keeper, I recommend them because they're just easier to house and clean for your ball python. So let's look inside the tank. As you can see, almost as basic of a setup as you can get. We have newspaper on the bottom, which is free. Water bowl, which is just a dog bowl from the dollar store. Don't go out and buy those big, name brand ball python or reptile water bowls. They're the exact same thing as what you get from the dollar store, as long as you're not getting some really crappy one that has plastic dissolving in the water. As long as it's a good quality water bowl, you should be fine. Second thing we're looking at, or actually third thing if we don't count the newspaper, is these hides right here. You can go to the reptile store and get really caught up in all of the big, $10, $20 hides that look really nice. And, if you really want to, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I actually think it's a, good thing to go ahead and decorate your cage so you think it looks good as well. But if you're on a budget, going out and just getting one of these pots that you get from the dollar store, cutting it or melting it in half works great as a, just a little thing. It has to be a plastic one, of course, because, one of those harder rock ones isn't going to work. But these are very easy to clean, very affordable, but just make sure you have no sharp edges so your snake can't damage its scales, too much. So now that we've looked inside the cage and we kind of look at the cage itself, we'll now look at the heating element and just the overall heating of the tank. In my opinion, I would go with the Flex Watt heat tape. It allows you to do a lot more. If you really want to, you can go with those heat pads and stuff that they sell at the stores, but if you can get a hold of this stuff, I'd recommend it more. It's longer. It normally is much more effective if you do it correctly of having an overall heating element. You don't have like 90 over here and 88 over here as you might with a heat pad. And overall, these guys are pretty cheap, okay? Very easy to set up. This might cost you $5 to get one of these. Not with the thermostat, of course, but it might cost you like $5 for that. And if you go with a heat pad, you're going to be spending at least 20 bucks. Again, I'm not knocking heat pads. They do work. I personally just don't like them because they tend to deteriorate way quicker than these guys do. If you have one and it's, a good brand and you like it, then you can go with that. Just try to get the best price for your money. That's basically what this video is all about, just a budget. Now, I have talked about this before and entirely, I have an entire video dedicated to this, but if you are going to use this heat tape, you really, in my opinion, should go out and get some of this aluminum flashing or just something that's going to go over this. If you're taking your tub and you're just lifting it up and then putting it back onto this heat element, that's fine. But if you have a rack that you built, like a homemade rack, and you're putting the rack in and out, sliding it and rubbing against this, I would really recommend having something to protect it. And of course, it has to be something that transfers heat good as well. And this aluminum flashing, really, I've never found anything that can beat it. It's great, very easy to use. All you need is some, $2 or $3 shears that you get at Walmart. Cut, what you need. Get a $3 thing of silicone it down, or super glue it, however you're going to do it. And your tub system is good to go and safe. And you can rest good at night knowing that this is probably, I'm not saying it's not going to, but you're going to have a much better chance of this not having any problems with fires or anything if you do have this flashing or some sort of metal protecting it. Kind of like what Freedom Breeder does. Now this is the last part of this video, which is going to be the thermostats, and this is kind of something that is personal to each person. I know that lots of people have had lots of success with these Zillas, or there's all kinds of brands out there, Jumpstart thermostats and stuff like that, the really basic, inexpensive kind of budget thermostats. And I would recommend starting with those because they, are just like, 18 to 30 bucks, so you're really not spending a whole lot of money. And if it works for you and your snake's eating and happy and everything and you're not having any problems with it, then I would say, you know, great, go with that. But personally for me, I've tested both of those out, the Zilla, the Herpstat, or no, sorry, not the Herpstat, the Jumpstart thermostat, and I've tested out a bunch of the budget ones, and yeah, they do kind of work, and for maybe something like a leopard gecko or a colubrid, they don't do too bad, but I haven't had a lot of luck with them with the ball pythons, so personally, with me, I would just go straight for the Herpstat. Now, I know this is a budget video, and you're going, Herpstat, holy crap, that thing's like $100. I know, but if you go out and you look for a used one, you can probably find it for around $60, and again, I'm not saying that that's a amazing idea, because used electronics are not always the best, but there are some ways that you could get it cheaper than, you know, you would normally would offline. So there's just a few of my opinions, and kind of just a few ways to save you guys some money. This is the way that my snakes are set up, and this is about as budget as it gets. If you reduce anything past this, you're basically taking away a necessity that that snake really needs. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hope you benefited from this video. Again, like I said, this is more of a video for the beginner keepers, but it is easy sometimes to get caught up in all of the fancy reptile bowls that are like $20, and the hides that are $40, and the big, you know, fancy heat. It's just all crap lots of times, okay? In my opinion, this is the best way, the best bang for your buck, and the snakes are loving and thriving in this kind of enclosure, and it's perfect for the new starter that doesn't want to break the bank, just to have an amazing pet snake. As I already said, hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you liked the video, please give it a like. And of course, if you like the channel, consider subscribing. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.